Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 24 Creator Team Career here on the PC with Nissan. Tonight it's the start of our mid-season break. It's round 14 and we are heading to the Spa-Francorchamps circuit for the Belgian Grand Prix. And this is a race that could be very difficult, but for very different reasons compared to last night's race, which was very difficult. That was a circuit that was very much dominated by downforce, and the one real overtaking opportunity that there wasn't really an option for us for two reasons. One was the lack of DRS for a good chunk of that race, and secondly, we're just slow in a straight line. And slow in acceleration. So by the time the DRS and the slipstream and the battery all kicked in, it was very hard to actually make a move. And then the rain hit, and then it was a case of, let's just try not to fall backwards. Let's just try and hold position. And then we managed to move forward a couple of places through tyre choice and strategy, switching tyres at the right time. This is going to be a very different weekend. As you can see from the weather forecast, it's dry all the way through, but this is an incredibly fast circuit. It's all high-speed corners and flat-out sections, and if we take a look at our car, well, it's not good, is it? Top speed is 21st. We are 20th in DRS, so slightly better, and 20th in high speed, but our dirty air performance is still really bad. Our speed through the high-speed corners is not great. Our top speed and our DRS also pretty abysmal. So this is going to be a race where we are really going to be just trying to hang on, I think. I can't see us making massive strides like we have at some other circuits, even with tyre choice and strategy. Tyres don't wear out massively quickly around here. I mean, they do lose performance, but I don't think we'll gain enough performance with a fresh set of tyres to overcome the amount of time we're going to lose with that extra pit stop. So one stop may be the way to go here. We'll have to see. I think qualifying will possibly determine where what we do. If we start really well in terms of grid position, we may go for the one stop and just try and hang on for dear life. If we start right at the back, we'll probably just throw caution to the wind and go for the two stop, go for an early undercut, see if we can maybe gain a bit of track position that way, and playing by ear, I suppose. Not a lot of real options, but this is as I say, the last race before the mid-season break. When we come back at Zandvoort, we will have new wings on the car. We will also have a new chassis, which is ready to start being built. We just, unfortunately, don't have any cash to actually build any of these new chassis just yet. They'll be worth quite a bit of extra speed, as you can see. A little boost to acceleration, a little boost to DRS. We're going to trade off a little bit of low speed performance for a boost in medium and high speed. Dirty air might be fractionally impacted. But the wings in particular will also add hopefully quite a bit as well. The front wing we did load up with a bit of extra front downforce, so that should help counteract that. We can't see the new one yet because it hasn't finished being designed, but that should hopefully counteract the losses that we'll find, or at least some of the losses that we'll find, if not all of them, in the low speed. And we should, combined with that new rear wing, gain quite a lot on the chassis as well with high-speed performance. So keeping our fingers crossed that after the mid-season break at Zandvoort we'll actually have a slightly more competitive car, or at least we'll be able to fight it out for the top 18 plus that our sponsors require with a bit more ease. So we just need to basically get through this weekend and then see what kind of impact those upgrades are going to have. Evening, Farah. How are you doing tonight? Hello to everyone else lurking in the chat as well. Let's get prepped, shall we? So let's take a quick look at our drivers, see what kind of stats we're looking at for this weekend. They're both looking pretty comparable, actually. 93 in cornering for both. Mick is down a little bit in braking, as we expect, but he's up in control. Down slightly in smoothness, slight edge in adaptability, but that's irrelevant for this weekend. Bit of an edge for Mick in overtaking, bit of an edge in defending for Porsche. Its reactions are at 100 going into this Grand Prix, and Mick has a slight edge in accuracy. So pretty close between the two. It's going to be interesting to see who is the quicker of the two. I think we probably have to give a slight edge to Teo, but it's going to be, as I say, pretty close indeed. In terms of other positions, we are exploring replacing Powell. We have got an ongoing contract negotiation with Hugh Bird for next season. He came back with a counter offer to our first offer, and we are waiting to hear from him on the counter that we've submitted. And if that happens, then we will say goodbye to Powell at the end of the season, and Hugh Bird will come in and replace him in that slot. Pedro is going to be with us for another couple of years. I don't see any need to replace him just yet, simply because it's going to cost a bit to break his contract. He's pretty young. He's got a pretty good development curve. We'll see how that goes. Plus, he's got that existing relationship with Mick, and Mick being slightly older and slightly less development potential than Teo, he needs that extra little boost of a better relationship with his engineer for next season than Teo is going to need. We are also trying to replace Aurelien Pallier. We are looking at the option of hiring Andy Stevenson. We need some cash to do that because we're going to have to break the final year of Aurelien's contract. As you can see, he still has one more year to go at the end of this season, so it's going to cost us not quite that much, but it will cost us somewhere in the region of about 1.5 to 2 mil to break his contract at the end of this season for next year. Andy Stevenson is the prime target, but I don't know if we'll be able to get him or not. We'll see how that goes. And then in terms of drivers, well, we know that we've got somebody joining us next season. Where is he? Ritomo Miyata is joining us as a reserve next season. We wanted to have some Japanese presence in the team, given that we are a Japanese racing team. And then I'm kind of looking at other options. I was thinking about getting rid of Teo. I think I've cooled off on that, and I think we may well try and keep Teo for next season. But if he continues to wreck cars this year, then I may have to revisit that idea, because he has now had 3 big wrecks, and that's too much. It's too much. So let's set our targets for tonight. I'm going to gamble on 18th for both, but I'm not expecting us to necessarily be actually able to achieve it. Maybe we should play it a little more cautious and go 20th for both, but yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go 20th for both. We'll lose a little bit of potential cash, but all it's going to take is a couple of retirements, and then we can finish at the back of the grid and still achieve our sponsors. It'll piss the board off if we finish at the back of the grid, but we'll just have to kind of live with that, unfortunately. Off we go to Spa.
This weekend we're in Belgium, in the picturesque province of Liège. Halfway through the season, it's too early to call the championship. Can teams make good before the summer break, or will they be hoping for a reset?
It's Ferrari who are currently ahead in the constructors' standings. And at round 14, we're well into the season and the points allocation.
There's nothing like a race weekend in Formula One.
Okay then, so let's get ourselves set up, shall we? Evening, Victor. Did we change the parts? No, we didn't. We also need to buy new engine parts this summer as well, if we can, because we are in pretty dire shape at the moment. At least with Teo. We're in rougher shape with Mick, but not horrendous shape. Let's see. It's 15 laps around this circuit, so we are going to up that to 20 laps. There we go. And then Porsche is really up against it. This is the only ERS we have for Porsche, so we are expecting definite issues with his battery at some point in this Grand Prix. I'm going to try that engine and hope that it's fine for practice, and then same again with that gearbox, but I'm not liking our options. We need another gearbox and an ERS at a minimum for Teo. We probably need another engine as well. And then we need another ERS and maybe something else for Mick. I'm not sure, but we definitely need another ERS for him. All right. So, time to get the cars set up. Let's start with Mick this time. It's reasonably low downforce here. Not Monza levels of downforce, because there's still a fair bit of cornering, but we're going to go with a 9.5, I think, on this car. Let's bring the front wing down a little bit as well. Let's go with there. I think that's a good compromise. I'm going to go with a 4.6 on the roll bar. It's going to be, I think, in this sort of window. So 4.637, maybe a 5.5. Potentially even a 2.8. But we'll start kind of middle-ish. We'll go 4.6 on this car. We'll probably go 3.7 on the other one. And then I need to figure out what I want to do with this. I'm going to leave the camber where it is. I'm going to drop the toe down to about there. And we'll see how that works. So over to Teo. So let's try. Let's see. 9.5 might be pushing it a little bit. But we'll try it initially. Let's look at a 3. Maybe a 4. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. That's right on the edge. And then we said we wanted to try a 3.7 on this one. Luckily, the roll bar does not affect the straights, so that's good. Doesn't affect the rear wing. For camber, I'm actually going to push this one up a little bit. Quite a bit, actually. I'm going to push it to about there, I think, and then we'll bring that up to kind of mirror that a little bit. So there we go. A bit of a different setup. We're right on the limit there, so we could well be looking at a 10 on the rear wing. But we know that it can't go lower than a 9.5. So we're set. We're prepped. Let's send them to the track.
Green.
Evening, Wayne. Had hoped to do a whole load of recording and stuff today, but unfortunately I woke up with a bit of a headache. Tried to go back to sleep it off, and when I woke up, it developed into a full-on migraine. So I've been struggling a little bit today. Head's nice and clear now, but I was very dehydrated. I think I snored quite badly last night, and yeah, my head was just pounding earlier today, so didn't get a chance to do much work. I've only had the PC fired up for about 15 minutes, 20, well, actually we're 25 past, so about half an hour the PC's been fired up. So I didn't get the chance to do any thumbnails or record any construction sim or any of the precinct, so I'll try and get some of that done tomorrow instead. It might be a little thin on content over the next couple of days. New episode of ATS dropped earlier today. Next one's due out on Thursday. Tomorrow's just going to be the live stream, I think. And then that will give me some time to record and then get some stuff prepped for the rest of the week and the weekend. So we'll have to play it by ear in that respect. Let's just quickly put our drivers into protective mode. There we go. And we'll speed them up. And let's see how these setups shake out.
Rear zone, cool side.
I'm not fully ready, okay?
Right, so Ollie Behrman is in for Ferrari. We can see that he's nice and clearly top at the moment. Who else is in the car that's a rookie? Let's just see. Well, Victor Martin is in for Alpine. Who else? Felipe Drogovic is in for Aston.
Tires are on the cold side.
I think it's just those three. It is. It's just those three. No Pato O'Ward today. We're at 4 out of 5 on our feedback. Oop, wrong button. There we go. Speaking of transfer activity, things still going really well for Liverpool in the transfer market. Sold
Copy.
Nathaniel Phillips to... is it Bournemouth?
Updated on balance.
I think it's Bournemouth he's going to. I'm not sure. Phillips is off. And we've also got Quanza going to Bayer Leverkusen for about 40 million, which is very nice. And with a buyback clause as well. So that's a really smart bit of business. Really smart bit of business. It's looking like we might be trying to sign Guay. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right. He is... Why am I on here? I should be on here. That's where I should be. He has apparently agreed personal terms, according to the latest transfer speculation, although a fee for him is yet to be established. But it is starting to shape up very, very nicely when you combine that with bringing in quite possibly the greatest young player in football at the moment in Florian Wirtz. And we've got Jeremy Frimpong. And we've also signed the left back as well, whose name escapes me. It's looking pretty good. It's looking like it's been a really good market for us so far. Victor just wants Arsenal to sign a striker. You can sign Darwin Núñez if you want. You have my blessing on that one. Carecast, thank you.
I think the tires were very cold.
All right, let's see where we went wrong with the setups. This is showing as good. I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's more likely going to be that. Do I want to maybe drop that down a bit? Let's try dropping that down to a 10.5. How are we looking on traction? It looks okay. Cornering and braking stability. Let's push that up that way. I need to find 20%. So that change is probably worth about 7-8% if it's right. Same there. And then depending on how these shake out, I don't know, that might be a little bit too much. Let's go to a 3 there. That's not really changing our cornering very much. So let's do that, and then we can bring that up to about there, so that we have got that slight change on the cornering, only a slight change on the traction. That could be way off as well. That might not be a 7 or 8% change. That might be worth about 5%. And now it's looking a bit too short. So I'm going to go back to a 2.5. Happy, happy, happy. We'll try it. See how it works. Let's take a look at Porsche. We're pretty close to Porsche. We just need to find 5%. So I'm going to say that the front wing needs to come down a little bit. Push that back up a little bit. And then maybe push that up to there. And we'll see how that works. Not going to send them back out in this session. We've got our car part knowledge up to 100, which is excellent because it's going to be low when we go to Zandvoort. We're going to have 3 new parts on the car that we need to learn. So that's going to drop our part knowledge down significantly. Theoretically, our car part knowledge should be at 50%. With 3 new parts going on. And as this session draws to a close, let's pop in our first commercial timeout. Sorry in advance if you get a Royal Kingdom advert, Farah. Okay, into the second session. We've made our changes with the setup. There we go. We're going to run 18 laps this session, I think. Car parts still okay. Still okay. Low, but okay. We're going to go, again, 18 laps. Drop those down. And we'll send them back out.
Green.
Yeah, there is a warning. Both of our cars are at risk of developing a fault. High, and high. That's not encouraging viewing at all. And then for Mick, medium and high, but we're okay on the engine at the moment. Getting a little close to feedback now. Mix up to 4 out of 5. Porsche just ticked over. So, do me proud here, Mick. No, we've gone backwards. Ah, bugger. Maybe the rear wing is a 9. Let's see what the setup satisfaction is for Porsche. It's going to be another couple of laps yet, I think, till we get his. Oh, that's mighty close. 99%. So one click of toe to fix that. That's an easy fix. But it's going to be a little trickier for Mick to figure that one out. Let's see what our driver prep is by the time they get back to the pits. It's going to be 44%, isn't it? Okay, so that means we just need a short run for Teo. He just basically needs to find 6%. Mick needs to find 6%, assuming his setup is 100. It's not, so we're going to need to probably find about 10% for Mick, just to guarantee that he will be okay, in case we can't nail the setup. And there we go. Look, it has gone to a 9. And this is way off, so that needs to come up to about here. That now puts that slap bang in the middle of the straight window, so we'll assume that that's okay, or close to okay. This is going to have to go to a 3.7 to bring it back in line there. Now we're short on braking stability. Cornering hasn't really changed, so we need to make a small adjustment on that. I'm going to go back a little bit and back. No. I'm going to go with that, I think, and hope that those two changes are enough. That's a big change. That's a big change. That's spot on. That could well be it. I hope it's it. Now let's take a look at Teo. We'll see him popping out here. There he is. As out goes one of the Haas. Not sure which one that one is. Oh, this could go either way. So, gonna go back one to there. And if it's wrong, when we run him in the next session, we can just move it the other side. So a little bit of Sebastian Vettel news today as well. He's being linked with replacing Helmut Marko at Red Bull. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I think Helmut's going to keep going until, until he finally says enough's enough. It's not going to be a case of someone pushing him out. It's going to be Helmut's decision on when he leaves, and I don't think that's going to be any time in the next couple of years. But be interesting to see if Vettel does take over in a couple of years' time. If and when Marko does step down as the head of the young driver program. I think any chance of a racing return for Vettel's now long gone. He's still technically young enough. He's only 37. We've seen that drivers can still be competitive into their 40s. Fernando, Lewis. But I think he's happy to have stepped away from racing now. So I can't see him coming back as a driver. As Gasly just overcooks it on the exit of the bus stop chicane there. We do have a penalty for Magnussen. I'm not sure if that's a position penalty or a part penalty. We'll inspect his car. That's quite possibly a part penalty. He is running new everything. Look, new gearbox, new ERS, new engine. So, yeah, I imagine he's going to be starting from the back of the grid today. But it's a good place to have extra power. Into final session for the day, for the weekend then. We're going to go with medium tyres again. So we'll only have one set going into the Grand Prix, but we'll have plenty of sets of softs, I hope. We're going to go with 18, let's go with 20 laps for Mick, just so we've got that little extra cushion. A 15 lap run for Teo should be more than enough. So we won't put any extra fuel in for him, and let's send them back out again.
Should be green now.
Quite a high track temperature, 40 degrees. That could
Keep working the brakes.
prove detrimental to tyre life in qualifying.
Copy.
Yuki's looking quick again. I'm amazed how good that RB has been this season. But I've noticed, at least on the PlayStation, that when you run a custom team, if you don't start with great results, RB generally tends to have a really strong season. But if you start getting really good results, RB starts to suffer. It might be down to a choice of who the drivers are and who's been hired as your backroom staff as well. That might play into it. But I've noticed that more often than not, if you start with a really difficult start, i.e. a rubbish team, in creator team, RB tends to do pretty well in the first season. And that certainly seems to be bearing out at the moment in this save. Alright, so we have improved Mick, I think, but the question is how much?
Yeah, copy, mate.
96%, so we got really close. That's encouraging. So 48% minus 2% there, so we're at 46% prep. So we need to find another 4% effectively. Teo is almost there. He just needs to hit 50. And then that's assuming that we get it right with the setup. If we get it wrong, it's an easy fix, and we'll be at 100 either way. So, yeah, Teo's pretty much done. I just need to make sure he actually does complete that final lap to give me the feedback. .98. So we got it wrong. And we need that extra 1%. So let's just get him to do one more lap. We'll cancel the call in. Now he's at 50. So now we can call him in. Because the change we're going to make to his setup will get him to a 100% driver setup, which will get him to 100% overall. We're at 50%, so we still need to find at least another 2%. And that's because our setup equates for 50% of our prep level. So that theoretically now will equate to a 2% loss there, which means that 50% overall, we should be good with Mick. We're going to call him in, take a look at the setup, and if he's at 100%, we won't send him out. If he's just a percent or so short, if I just misjudged the maths, which I don't think I have, then we'll leave him in the garage and just leave him with a 96% setup for the weekend.
Pit entry.
Pit limiter on.
Stop in position.
Let's have a look. There we go, 100% prep. So, do I want to mess around with this? Not really. But I am going to push that out at least a click. No, I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to mess around with it. I do need to make a slight change to Teo. And that's that. And there we go. That's Teo at 100%. So, we are done with practice. Just need to run out the clock and then we are ready to go into qualifying. Evening, Bill. Ooh, Max has developed an issue.
Your engine braking is doing funny things mid-corner.
I'd laugh. I would I'd so laugh if there was like a literal button where, you know, engine braking's doing funny things and, like, you know, you activate the literal button so that every time he presses like the brake pedal or just eases off to try and activate engine penalty, you know, his steering wheel fires a custard pie at his face. I'd find that funny. Oh, there we go. Another fault.
And as far as we can tell, they've got a fault with the car.
Is that an escalation of the same issue? It might well be. So it looks like Max is going to get something new. Let's just slow time down a second. Take a quick gander at his car. Oh yeah, wow, that engine went orange really quickly. So that engine going orange is actually really good for Max, because that'll now get swapped out before we go into qualifying. It's bad for me. Well, not bad for me as such. It's bad for everybody else because it means Max will be at full power Whereas if that stayed yellow, he would have carried that engine into qualifying, and then if it had gone orange in qualifying, it would be a pit lane start to replace it. Ah, well, never mind, eh?
Let's hope the teams took full advantage of practice. It's time for qualifying.
Qualifying consists of 3 periods, with the slowest drivers eliminated after each one. With the pressure mounting, who can secure a strong starting position for the race?
And of course, there's the Williams driver. Karoon, how do you think they'll fare today?
I think we're talking about a driver whose confidence isn't where it needs to be. You have to question how much impact this will have on their ability to deliver this weekend.
So stay with us, folks. It's sure to be a good one.
Right, qualifying time. We'll go with the 88% engine. There we go. And for Teo, we'll have to go with the 94. Can't change the ERS, and that's the only gearbox we've got that's even close to being usable. So there we go. What can we do in qualifying? Damn it, I didn't want to go out in dirty air. We are separating the two Haas drivers. We are the meat in a Haas sandwich. So we'll get a slipstream, which is going to distort our results a little bit. And we're also going to get a lot of dirty air, which is also going to distort our results a little bit. So I have no idea how Mick's going to do on this lap in comparison to how he would do normally. Kick the tray. Apologies for the rattling. So Porsche is starting to wind up. He's going to have a Red Bull in front of him at some point pretty soon.
lap now. This is a good position for us. No?
And Mick should be clear from anyone popping out in front of us as well. So we can close that down now. Let's skip the Teo. Teo complaining about dirty air, didn't get blocked, might have impacted him slightly. He's up slightly on Mick, sorry, down slightly on Mick, but then kind of expected that with Mick getting the slipstream down the Camel Straight. Riding on board with Mick now because we've got a Red Bull coming up. There it is. Just going into Lefania. Damn it, we have to lift going into Stavolo. Porsche slightly quicker in the middle. Both of us down half a second to Leclerc in the first sector. Middle sector, we're down by 1.3 seconds. Ouch. .142.6 for Teo.
Remember to keep following your delta, yeah?
Slightly ahead of Hulkenberg. Mick goes slightly quicker by less than a tenth of a second. And Leclerc has blown us away, as you would expect, in that Ferrari. Let's see how Perez is doing. Needs a really strong qualifying. He's not been doing very well at all. Looks like he got held up a little bit on the exit of Poo on there. We are down on Logan Sargent. Again, kind of expected us to be slower than Williams this weekend. What kind of pace does Perez have? Not great. Slower than Alonso. We did have a brief yellow flag on track there. Lock up for Alex Albon at turn 1.
Here we go, heading into turn 1. The wheels just lock up there. By that point, it was just too late.
And that was the start of his flying lap, I think. Looks like he's aborted it now. So, we're quicker than Hulkenberg, we're quicker than Zhou, quicker than Magnussen. Although I'm not sure how accurate Magnussen's time is. Max looks like he might have been blocked somewhere on his lap, maybe by us. Because I would expect him to be quicker than that. Should be running that new powertrain. Let's take a look. Yep, there we go. New engine for Max.
Stop in position.
This is a long lap. I'm going to try and see if we can get straight out and maybe have time for one more run. It'll be tight, but we need to go out straight away and just hope that we don't get blocked too badly by traffic on this run. So that looks like that's Oscar on an in-lap behind us. Norris is coming up to Blanchimont right now, ready to start his lap. And Ocon is quite slow, down in 13th place. Hamilton's coming out across the bus stop, across the line, and he goes up to P4. He's a second and a half behind Leclerc, though. That Ferrari is just looking mighty. Sainz is on an outlap. He's behind us. But we're on an outlap as well, so he's not going to get in our way. Let's see. Norris goes purple in the first sector. Looks like he's got George on an outlap, sorry, on a push lap right in front of him. There is George. There is Sainz. Potentially going to get in the way of George Russell. He did, and then he got in the way of Norris as well, so both of them will have been impacted there in the middle sector. And now we are ready to go for it. And then Alpine has pulled into the pits. So we've got a fair bit of clear space till we hit the back of a Williams, and I think it might be Albon. No, it's not Albon. Must be Sargent. Where is Logan Sargent? There he is. He's on an outlap. George pops up between our two drivers. Expect him to go quicker on another run. Yeah, Norris definitely lost out in the middle sector. You can see how quick he was. Purple first, purple third, and then down quite a bit in the middle sector. So he's a second off the pace. There is a very real chance that Porsche is going to get held up slightly by Logan Sargent. Mick will be fine, I think. But it could be a different story here for Teo. He is up, both drivers up in the first sector. Not by much, but they are slightly up. It's the middle sector where we should see improvements, specifically for Mick. And there we go, we actually got through unimpeded. And Schumacher gets through just before Sargent starts to push. So that was good. Lost 0.3 to his teammate in the middle sector. Porsche goes up to 8th, 1.7 seconds off the pace. Mick found very little in the end. Porsche found half a second nearly. Schumacher found less than 0.2. So the middle sector very much in Porsche's favour. So who is pushing right now? Just Zhou and Sargent. We might have blocked Sargent slightly at the top of Eau Rouge and Radion. There's Zhou across the line. He's starting a flying lap. And I'm worried if this is kind of a false dawn on pace, like it was yesterday, and whether we're just going to plummet down the order at the very end. Part of me wants to stay in the garage with Porsche and save a set of tyres. Mick, I think we're going to have to run again. Given there is a 4/10 difference, exactly 4/10 difference between our two drivers. I don't think Porsche is going to get much of an improvement, if at all. But there is still time for Mick to find. Oh, show's getting blocked by both Ferraris here. We have got time for another run. I am going to leave Teo in the garage.
We're going to stop in our box.
I'm just not confident at all with Mick. I mean, he's still ahead of Max and Tsunoda and Russell and Stroll and Albon. I would expect all of those guys to go quicker than Mick. So, fresh set of tyres. And now we just got to try and judge when is the right time to send him to avoid being hit with traffic. And I'm tempted to see if we send him out behind Perez. Stroll's going out as well. Oh, here we go. There's a few cars going out. There goes Valtteri. And there's Hamilton. Let's pop out behind Hamilton.
So main focus, scrubbing the tires now.
We've got Ocon behind us on an outlap. Is that Perez? No, Perez is there. So there's Max. Also on an outlap. Yeah, there's nobody who's going to come up behind us and push us out of position, it would seem. Now we just got to wait and see if anyone pops out too close to us at the front. If anyone is going to go, they need to kind of go now at the very latest, given how long a lap this is. You can see there is Gasly popping out. And he'll be far enough ahead that he shouldn't be a problem. Looks like we've actually judged it just about perfectly in terms of when to go. As George Russell starts his flying lap, as does Nico Hülkenberg. Zhou gets into the pits and he shouldn't have time to go again now, so I think Zhou's done. Oh, damn it. That's what I meant to do. So it's all on this lap for Mick, because we are going to see improvements behind, below us. We're already down to 13th. Sainz is down in 10th. That's unexpected. Through Rivage into Speaker's Corner. I think it's actually officially called Jackie X now, that corner. I still prefer it as Speaker's Corner. It used to be No Name or Speaker's Corner. Max has just gone purple in the first sector, 4/10 quicker than we've gone. George Russell pops up into 3rd place, so he's secure. We're down to 16th with Mick. He's on the cusp, and he's definitely going to go into the drop zone when Max goes through. Leclerc, 30.2, new purple first sector. Fractionally quicker than Max. We are up on Lance Stroll. We are up on Ocon. Stroll's got through, so we will go ahead of Stroll. There we go, up to 8th place, and now I'm worried about Teo. Wow, that was a big gain. 0.7 of a second for Mick there. Sargent should improve, but Tsunoda, I think, is done. Yeah, Tsunoda's on an in-lap, so it's just Max, Gasly, Magnussen, and Sainz. If all 4 of them improve above Porsche, he's out. Sainz will improve. And it looks like Magnussen is tucked up behind. No, it's Leclerc up behind him. But Leclerc's already through. Max is up into 2nd place. Sainz goes up to 3rd. Porsche is almost at risk. In fact, Porsche is safe. Magnussen has crossed the line and has stayed bottom. It's down to wherever Gasly can qualify. But even if he knocks out Yuki Tsunoda, we are safe. And Yuki might be at risk here. Yuki might be at risk of elimination. We were saying at the start of this stream how good the RB's been this season, and we might be about to lose Yuki Tsunoda in Q1, which would be a huge shock. Up to the line for Pierre Gasly, and it is good enough for 11th place. And Yuki Tsunoda is out. Big shock. Perez down in 15th place. Porsche just squeezing through. But both of our drivers are through into the next session. Fantastic stuff. Okay, so qualifying 2. We'll start on scrubs. I'm probably only going to get 2 runs in this session. So we're going to have to really work the timing on this well, but I want my drivers out first.
Should be green now.
Because I want that purple confidence boost for both of them. Ready for their second run. Evening, Clark.
We need to get the brakes up to temp now.
Okay, so we've got Max popping out of the garage as we're about to come up to the start of the lap. That's not ideal, but hopefully we'll catch him on the Camel. Gasly popping out as well. Oh god, now an Aston of Alonso as well. Yeah, this is not a great thing to see. This could be bad. And because the drivers are close, if one gets held up, it could hold up both of them. We've got a yellow flag, and Hulkenberg has had a big shunt with the barrier.
Yellows.
Looks like he's broken his front wing.
There's a big crash.
Now this, I think, was at turn 13.
Yeah, exit of Lafanya.
And ends up making contact with the barrier. That will have knocked their confidence, I'm sure.
If that was a push lap, that would have put him in the wall completely. Alright, we're through on the first two, but it sounds as though Mick definitely had to lift. He's down 4 tenths to Pourchaire, and now Pourchaire's getting blocked by Max, and now Mick's getting blocked by Max as well. It's not ideal, but we're on scrub tyres, so these times wouldn't have been competitive anyway, and we're still the first ones to set these purple sectors, so we are still getting the confidence boost that we needed. So hopefully this will put us right on the cusp of peak. Not quite sure why Teo looks a little lower than Mick. Just down to the size of the very low confidence bar, I think. There we go, into peak confidence. And Mick didn't get into peak because he didn't go quicker than Teo. That first sector killed his chances. He was down a couple of tenths in the final sector, but he would have been closer had that first sector not happened. And he would have probably gone top just over Teo.
Okay.
Let's turn that off now. Not a great start though, because we did lose quite a bit of time. But we did boost our confidence, which was the most important thing. It just means we've now got a long wait until we can run again. We don't have time for 2 more runs because it is such a long lap. So now it's picking our moment. Grip will ramp up at the very end, but so will the traffic. What about track temperature? Impossible to say what's going to happen to track temperature. It might go up a little bit. It's clear skies all the way through the rest of this session effectively, so I don't think we'll see a change in the temperatures. Piastri's gone top with a 140.1. It's still early days. But the damage to Hulkenberg could be significant. I mean, you can see there, that front wing very much mangled. He's on his in-lap. But my guess is, given the state of that front wing, he's also going to have maybe some suspension damage as well. So Hulkenberg could really struggle in this session. That's good for us.
Stop on the mark.
So let's advance time a little bit because we are going to be waiting for a while till we can go again. Out goes Alex Albon. Still a little early. Out goes George. And now Max. And this is where I'm going to go. I think this should give us enough of a gap. Hulkenberg on an in lap.
Again, those brakes and tires.
No, he's on an out lap.
Okay,
He's now on a flying lap. And he has not changed his front wing. So he doesn't even have a front wing. So, yeah, Hulkenberg's probably going to finish bottom of the standings in this session. But it does mean he might well cut through and get pull us out of position slightly. It's not been an amazing first sector for Charles Leclerc. But this would be good enough to get him through, or at least it should be. And across the line for Charles. It's only good enough for 7th. Hulkenberg getting blocked by us. And what was already going to be a bad lap. Now he's going to get potentially blocked a little bit by Max. Yeah, look how slow he was in the middle sector compared to Leclerc. He's down 3.1 seconds in that sector alone. This is going to be a terrible lap.
They're looking good for me. Let's get going.
We've got an RB right behind us. I hope we don't pull over here.
Let's go, come on.
No, we didn't. Thank God for that.
I've got your mirrors, not sure who's pushing, who's not.
Or was it? Actually, it might have been Alonso that was right behind us. I think it was Alonso. It was. Okay. Hulkenberg's best effort puts him 6 seconds off the pace. There's a chance Leclerc might get eliminated here if he's not careful. It's a very slim chance. I think he's more likely to go through in 10th, but you never know. I'm eyeing Gasly's sectors as our marker. Ah, damn it, he was 42.0 in the middle. I didn't see his final time. Slightly down with Porsche. We're matching with Mick. It's going to be very close with Gasly. We might sneak one of our drivers through if we're very lucky. Max up to the line. He goes second. Albon's out. Pourchaire is out in 12th. Mick is out in 13th. Sainz still trying to get through, and he's only a 10th up on us in the first sector, but it's the middle sector where we are very weak compared to the rest of the grid. Yeah, Sainz is definitely through. Unless he has an absolute disaster here in the final sector. Valtteri could yet out-qualify us. I don't know if he's going to do enough to get through. I don't think he is, but he'll certainly have a chance of popping up to 12th. Well, it'll be 13th when Sainz crosses the line. Sainz goes up to 4th. So Leclerc is in 10th. Valtteri is the only one left on a flying lap. And this is basically against us. And he stays in 15th. So Leclerc has somehow managed to sneak through. But we are out of qualifying. Better than I expected. 13th and 14th. Gasly from Albon. Then Pourchaire, Schumacher, Bottas and Hülkenberg eliminated in Q2. Let's see who sticks it on pole, shall we? It's Sainz from Leclerc. Just over a 10th between the two. Norris and Oscar are 3rd and 4th, so it's all Ferrari front row, all McLaren second row. Then it's George from Perez, Verstappen from Ricciardo, and Hamilton from Alonso. That is your top 10. Let's get ready for the Grand Prix weekend.
Well, it's a fantastic turnout, as it always is here in Belgium, as we prepare for 44 laps around Spa.
Motor car racing didn't have the best of starts at Spa-Francorchamps. Only one driver registered for the very first car race back in 1921, so a motorbike race replaced it instead. Times have changed, and now Spa is a solid fixture on the F1 calendar.
Spa-Francorchamps is an F1 favourite, consisting of challenging corners, high speeds, and the chance for drivers to really prove themselves. The long lap has different downforce demands, with sectors 1 and 3 requiring pure speed, and sector 2 a twistier and more technical affair. Race day has arrived, and the time has almost come for these drivers to fight it out, wheel to wheel.
Okay, so we need to figure out our strategy for this. Let's take a quick look at the starting grid. So we know that there's a penalty for Magnussen. It's only 10 places. That's going to be for a part then. Don't know what part. We're not going to be able to find out until the Grand Prix starts. Oh, no, wait. He's got new everything in his car, hasn't he? So, yeah. So he's going to be quick. He's going to punch his way up through the order. But we do know that Haas is really good at eating its tyres. So I really don't know what to do here, though, on strategy. I don't know if the one stop or the two stop is the better option. The one stop is slower. But if we were to protect our tyres in the opening stint, like that, that would work out borderline with the two-stop. The two-stop makes sense in terms of track time. It also means we can be much more aggressive. So if we were to do something like this, for example, we could be really aggressive with all of our tyres where we need to be. We could just absolutely hammer the mediums, and then we could be aggressive with the softs where we need to, or at least not have to worry about them overheating and burning up a little bit quicker, because we would have that little bit of wiggle room. for push laps where we need them. That might be the way to go. But it comes with that inherent risk. We're not a great pit crew. We do make mistakes every now and again. And we're just generally not quick in the pits. Although, having said that, having an extra stop does give us the extra chance of maybe getting some points. I think I might split the cars here. Let's see who has the better chance of making the one stop work. I think that might be Teo. I mean, I could go with that, but that's just inherently slow. I think I'll go with that with Teo. We'll give Mick priority of getting through past Teo if they're running nose to tail, because he's on the more aggressive strategy. We've also got to be cognizant of the fact that Porsche is very likely to develop a fault in his ERS unit. So want to try and keep track position with him where possible, I think. I'm going to put an extra lap of fuel in Mick to help him really go aggressive. I'm going to take a lap of fuel out with Teo. It's an extra lap for Mick. Sorry, not Teo. We'll go with that, I think, and see how we can get on. So we are set and prepped. The Brazilian, the Belgian Grand Prix is next.
Well then, it's not long until we get started here, and we should be in for a tightly contested race. Many people here and at home are wondering what the Haas driver can do.
There's no hiding from the fact that this is going to be a difficult one. P22 and a strong field that won't want to yield.
And it looks like we're good to go. You can hear the excitement in the crowd here at the Belgian Grand Prix.
Karin's a poet and he didn't even know it.
And it's
Right,
lights out,
here we go.
and away we go.
We are off and running. Sainz holds the lead, Leclerc second, and history kind of repeats itself a little bit as Norris goes out wide, but it doesn't cost him any positions. Mick does need to get past Porsche. This is a risk. But that looks like it's worked out beautifully. It has. Lovely stuff. Right, we need to put the tyres into protection. Let's go into top-up mode because we're likely to burn up quite a bit of battery. And let's Mick do his thing. Put him into top-up. So we're just about staying in range with both of our cars at the moment. DRS switch is on this lap.
DRS is enabled.
Gonna push Mick. I'm not gonna push Teo. It is more important that Mick can stay with Albon than it is that Porsche can stay with Mick. And in the end, neither happened. Maybe I should have pushed Teo as well, just to keep him close to Mick, give him a little bit of extra defence from Valtteri. But I'm confident that we should be okay. And indeed we are. Got to keep an eye on Porsche's tyre temps. They are going to drop out of the window. In fact, they just have. But we do need to stretch these tyres. And we need to overheat everyone behind us as well.
Temperatures are fine.
Oh, issue for Stroll already. We might see a lunge into the bus stop here. So, battery issues for Stroll. And Bottas and Hulkenberg going side by side. Even with full battery use and fuel push, we're struggling to stay with Albon as through goes Hulkenberg. That might actually be beneficial for Porsche, because it means he'll now get DRS to protect from Valtteri behind, and the dirty air should warm the tyres back up a little bit. And of course, we've got to remember about Yuki Tsunoda. He's punching his way through because he desperately needs to. Hulkenberg's just going for it. So let's drop some battery from Teo. I don't think Mick's going to have the pace to catch up to the soft tyre cars in front, unfortunately. But at the very least with this split strategy, with Porsche creating a gap between him and Mick, means that it will just make it that little bit easier for Mick to stay ahead with the pit stop windows. And you see Valtteri's tyres are falling off very quickly, as are Nico Hulkenberg's. Magnussen's tyres also getting eaten. That car is a menace when it comes to tyre wear. And it looks like Nico might be punching through. Battle of the Germans. Hulkenberg is through. Well, if he's got pace on those softs, maybe he can drag Mick forward a bit.
Head down, eyes forward.
Porsche, meanwhile, still holding everyone else up. We're going to go back into top-up mode now. And we're going to give Mick the last of his battery to try and stay with Hulkenberg. I really hope the upgrades are going to work for our car. I'm not expecting us to have a massive, sudden explosion of pace after the mid-season break, but situations like this where we get past and then the car just leaves us for dead. I'd like us to be able to stay with the car and helpfully be pulled forward a little bit, rather than just clinging on for dear life for a few corners and then we're gone and they're way off into the distance. So that's my hope with the upgrades, that they'll just give us that ability to stay with the faster cars for longer, so that when we are in a good position, we don't just immediately get dropped like a hot potato and then plummet down the order as a result. And it looks like we might have just about got the DRS. We did, but we can't push the battery any further.
Copy.
So we might well get dropped on this lap. Pourchaire's doing exactly what he needs to do, and that's staying ahead of everybody else, which is nice. Gap to Mick is now up to 4.2 seconds. Tyre wear slightly better than expected so far for Mick, and about predicted for Pourchaire. And there we go. Hulkenberg has caught up to Albon and has left us behind in the process. And that's the kind of thing that I'm hoping the upgrades will prevent from happening going forward. That we'll be able to stay with the car that's closing in on the drivers in front and use being overtaken to actually get onto the back of the cars that we're trying to keep up with. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. We won't know until Zandvoort. Monza will be a big test as well, but then after that we think go to, is it Singapore or is it Baku? So it'll be another different characteristic, and we're under pressure, and this time Valtteri does get through, so we're going to make sure he doesn't scamper off.
Copy.
So we'll deploy the battery.
Come on.
Got to watch out for Tsunoda trying to punch through as well. Stroll getting wide, but gets through on Yuki Tsunoda.
So get these tires back up to 10.
Just turn the tyres up briefly just to try and get back into the right temperature window. Try and stay with Valtteri. We've got a nice healthy advantage in terms of life left in these tyres over Valtteri, but it's not doing our pace any favours. Oh, Mick has caught up. It was a bad lap from Albon, probably being very defensive against Hulkenberg, and that has allowed Mick to get into range.
How are the
Good, it's okay.
And Stroll goes through.
Copy.
Stroll is out of range of Valtteri, so we might be able to get him back here. Out of Radion onto the Camel Straight. Gonna have to go around the outside of him, and we just don't have the downforce by the look of it. We'll keep pushing, because Stroll's now going to push to close up to Valtteri, so we've got to try and stay with him and keep Yuki behind.
Copy.
Left Mick in harvest a little bit too long there. And Stroll's left us behind, look. All of a sudden we're 2 seconds behind Stroll. If Tsunoda gets through, there's no way in hell we're going to be able to keep up with him. Not with the performance that car has in it. I don't understand how he qualified so badly. He must have been just stuck on both of his flying lap attempts. In some traffic or dirty air, but we are now struggling to keep Yuki behind. And I can see that pass coming any moment.
Don't go crazy on the rears.
Mixed tyres starting to get very hot, but we have wiggle room. See, we're still slightly above the prediction, and we had a little bit of leeway baked into them anyway. So we're okay to keep pushing like that. Engine temp's starting to go up a little bit, but again, we're okay. And there's nothing more we can do against Stroll, and Teo is about to get overtaken, I think, by Yuki here. Yeah, there we go. So Teo's down to 18th. Maybe the one stop isn't the right call here for us.
I know, man. Just keep it cool.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe things will be better for us on the mediums, because we can actually just keep those at temperature rather than protecting like we're doing on the softs. Hulkenberg's starting to drop away from Albon as his tyres are now at 47%. We're starting to close back up again. So we're at that point where tyre wear is in our favour and it's coming back to us in terms of pace. Let's just try and make sure that we definitely get into the DRS zone. We're gonna miss this one, but the next one, that's important, especially with Valtteri and Stroll closing up behind us. Pit window opens up next lap for Mick. It's still very early. And I'm now hoping that the 20+% that we have over the cars behind will work to Teo's advantage, and that we shouldn't drop any further. Downside is, of course, when these guys box, which is going to happen very soon for Magnussen, Sargent and Stroll, and then a little bit later for Ocon. They will be on much fresher tyres and they will be much quicker than us. If they catch us up and get past us before we make our stop, could be problematic. And there we go, first pit stop. It's Valtteri.
We need to be ready.
Copy.
that's a decent stop. I don't think it was amazingly quick, but it was clean. Set of mediums for Valtteri, so Valtteri's on a 2-stop. I think quite a few cars are going to be on 2 stops here. We might be one of the few exceptions to the rule here with Teo. What is the gap? About 12 seconds. I don't think that's a big enough gap.
Copy.
Stroll has been freed up with Valtteri boxing and is now pushing to close in on us. Sonoda is pushing and closing in on Stroll. And Porsche is lapping quicker than the cars behind without really trying. Sargent has a fault.
Something happened with the engine.
I'm regretting going 20th with both cars. I think maybe we could have at least gone 18th with Nick. Maybe 20th with Teo. But guaranteed money is better than gambling with something that is more risky and then getting no money. So I don't really want to overthink it in that respect. All right, let's see if we can get Mick through.
Copy.
Because I think Albon and Hulkenberg could well both be in the pits at the end of this lap.
Copy.
So it'd be nice to get that extra bit of confidence into Schumacher.
Copy.
I just don't think we've got the pace to do it though. We don't. Well, not here anyway. Maybe later in the lap if we're lucky, but
Gap 09.
Yeah, are the tires?
Sorry, just a little front a bit.
Sergeant Magnussen and Joe also probably going to box this lap. Ocon's probably got another lap or two on him. Can we spook Hulkenberg? He's dropping out of the range of Albon's slipstream in DRS. Joe develops a fault now. But he hasn't dropped out enough. If he stays out, he's going to have another chance. We need to have a lunge into... oh God, we're getting overtaken by Yuki. Ah dear. Well, there goes that option. And they have stayed out. So maybe with Yuki punching through, maybe we'll have a chance. But again, I don't think so. Ocon's into the pits. I've got Stroll behind me. He might have a lunge at us as well at some point on this lap. Evening, Tony. I think you're enjoying being called Greatzilla Gaming. I don't think you're going to change it.
Copy. Copy.
All right, so Piastri, Alonso, Gasly, all into the pits. Expect Albon and Hulkenberg to dive in here as well. And we got a safety car. Oh, damn it. It's a lap too soon. Well, it's a little too soon for us. We're going to have to go another lap, but we can do some fuel saving. We can start rebuilding batteries, and we can get into the pits for a set of softs. And the question is, with Teo, I am debating whether or not it's worth doing that. It's 15 seconds slower. We're not going to save 15 seconds on the pit stop. So, yeah, we'll stick to what we're planned. But what I will do is do some saving here. Some extra tyre saving and some engine saving. It's Logan Sargent doing Logan Sargent things.
This is Logan Sargent.
And that is a big crash into the barriers at
I
Lafania.
imagine their confidence will have taken a knock.
In typical Logan Sargent style. So Albon and Hulkenberg have boxed, and they've come out right behind Teo, and that is unfortunately the downside of us not boxing, is that these guys are almost certainly going to blitz past Porsche when they catch him, and they will catch him. Everyone behind, who we kind of hoped would not have an easy free pit stop, are getting not a free pit stop but a cheap pit stop, and that's going to make Porsche's job harder. But we'll see how he gets on. Still quite a few people at the front who haven't stopped yet. Leclerc has stayed out. I thought he might have taken the opportunity, but depends on what strategy they're running. Ricardo's in. What about Sainz? Sainz is a little way behind, and his tyres are in worse shape. Perez boxes. Sainz has stayed out. He's got Oscar right behind him, so that's going to be an easy overtake for Perez. For Piastri. And this is us diving into the pits. And so is Yuki Tsunoda. We get a good stop and they get a bad stop, we might jump him. Chances of that, though, not great. Nope, it's a bad stop. There goes Tsunoda. And there goes Mick, and we're behind Valtteri. But we're ahead of Ocon.
And what's that?
Actually, that might not be a bad thing, being right behind Valtteri. VSC ending. We'll have a chance. Oh, we just missed the DRS zone.
Gap 0-3. VSC ending.
But next lap,
Copy.
we'll have an opportunity to maybe get past Valtteri. Valtteri's tyres are 85%, and they're medium, so theoretically we should be able to get past him pretty quickly. We've got that little bit of leeway, so I'm actually going to push the tyres to warm them up quickly so we don't get left behind on the restart here, which is already starting to happen. Ooh, excuse me.
Yeah, copy.
Let's start winding it up a little bit. The one saving grace for us as far as Yuki is concerned is that he's stuck behind Hülkenberg and Albon, and Stroll boxes under full racing speed. So he should drop behind Schumacher. He might even drop, he's probably going to drop potentially behind Esteban Ocon here. No, he's going to stay comfortably ahead of Ocon. Tsunoda's got past Hülkenberg, and he should get past Albon pretty easily here. And does so. My worry now is that he'll just drag Alonso and Hülkenberg straight onto the back of Teo. That's why I've been pushing Teo to try and close up a little bit to Gasly if at all possible, and certainly to try and just delay the inevitable here. Get these tyres up to temperature. Mick is not catching Valtteri. Not yet, anyway.
The tires are now in the window. Come on.
Copy.
Right, Teo's tyres now up to speed. Just in time for Tsunoda to come at us.
That's not too bad, actually.
Oh, it's a notification about mixed tyres being up to temperature. Okay. So Porsches are now back up to temperature. Gap to Gasly's up to 4.5 seconds. But Albon has not immediately closed the gap. He's still fighting with Hülkenberg, which is helping. It's slowing them down in the corners. I've got a little bit of battery left to burn, but not much. I'm under no illusions that I'm going to get overtaken by Yuki Tsunoda here, but if we can at least keep them out of our DRS with Valtteri there as well, it gives Mick a chance to try and get onto the back of them before Valtteri starts shaking the order up a little bit.
Copy.
Remember, we need the tires for long.
There we go. Alright, come on, Mick.
Copy. Copy.
Tsunoda is through, but only just.
Copy.
And now Porsche is a roadblock. Maybe that means we can squeeze some battery back into Schumacher. Piastri is pumping in some very quick laps at the moment. As Albon goes through around the outside of Hülkenberg. Hülkenberg tries to retake the place. And Albon gets hung out to dry, and through goes Valtteri. And can Mick get through as well? No, he can't. But he might have a a little look here. He won't get the move done. Stroll is closing in as well now. We're not getting past Albon because we don't have Albon out of DRS range, so we're just going to continue to harvest here. Here comes Hulkenberg. I don't think we're going to be able to hold him back. Yeah, just not enough speed through the corners. That's partly tyres, partly just lack of downforce.
Do your best.
But while everyone else is going to have to fight their way past Teo, Mick will just get the red carpet rolled out for him.
Copy.
And Ocon is in the fight as well now. There we go. Charles is in onto a set of mediums. Looks like he's going for a one-stop. Sainz in as well, as is Lewis Hamilton. It's not a good stop for Hamilton. And you can see the gap there. That wasn't all down to just waiting for Hamilton, for Sainz to go through. That was just a bad stop in general by the look of it. Right, Porsche's pit window is opening up. Going to turn his tyres back to normal now.
So get these tires back up to 10.
Gasly is currently in the points, and that's a problem for us in the constructors' standings. He's on for 2 points as things currently stand. He's not going to stay there. I hope he's not going to stay there. But if he were, that might potentially jump him above us. Because that's how we got our 2 points,
See what you can do, mate.
by finishing in 9th. And I think they might have more higher placed finishes than us outside of the top 10.
You can do it.
Copy.
George Russell's in. Medium tyres for him. Max still yet to stop. Norris still yet to stop. He is definitely one stopping. I'm less convinced with some of these other guys. Ricciardo's almost certainly going to have to stop again. Piastri's definitely going to have to stop again, as is Alonso. Perez probably going to have to stop again, as is Gasly.
You ready?
Copy that.
These guys might be able to go the distance. I'm just not sure. Oh, Mick just lost the DRS because I was pushing Teo.
Copy.
Still a very long way to go.
Don't fight teammate is on. There goes Teo. So Mick is through.
Copy. Copy.
Nice forward. Fighting behind.
Max stopping. I think he will try and go to the end on those tyres. He's going to come out just behind Checo. And once again, we're going to try and give Mick every opportunity to build a little bit of a gap behind. Escalation of Joe's fault.
But the car's definitely not happy.
Not entirely sure what it is, but it doesn't really matter. He's way off the pace at the back. Can Pourchaire keep Stroll behind? It's all going to come down to braking to Lecombe, and he can with the extra aggression in defending. Let's see if we can get onto Albon here. Still have tyre wear to play with.
Good, it's okay.
So let's use a little bit of that now. Stroll has got through.
Now this one involves Stroll. The gap opens up for them.
Got him into Lafagna.
And Lance Stroll makes the overtake.
At least we did delay him a bit. There's a 3-second gap back to Mick. We're already way behind. But we're boxing at the end of the next lap. So we just need to try and hold these guys up a little bit more now if we can. And you can see how bad our pace is. We've allowed Joe to cruise right up. That's it for battery for Mick.
Copy.
Ooh, 3 wide into Lecombe. That's not going to work out well.
Gap 1.4.
Ocon gets through, Magnussen doesn't. And we hold position through Malmedy.
2.7 behind.
Oh, it's next lap we're supposed to be boxing. All right, we've got one more lap in these tyres. Let's stay out one more lap.
Copy.
And we've done what we needed to do with that, so we can put it back into neutral now.
Copy.
We've helped out Mick as much as we can.
Keep reeling him in.
Got to give it everything here and just hope that we can get onto Albon, because he's definitely going to get DRS from Valtteri.
Box, box.
And the answer is no.
Copy. Box. Copy.
Going to keep the tyre push going though. I want us to see if we can maybe close up through the lap before Stroll gets onto us. As Albon moves through past Valtteri, And there we go. We've caught up.
Copy. Copy.
Porsche now overtaken by Zhou.
Okay, copy, copy.
We have the legs on Valtteri. I don't know if we have the legs on Stroll. Do not want to overtake him into La Source. We want to try and get him on the exit of La Source down to Eau Rouge, ideally. Porsche's into the pits for his one and only stop. Let's hope it's a good one. It's not, it's clean, but it's not quick. It's 2.8 seconds. Didn't really have the ability to do much pit crew training this month. Next month will be better. With that nice 3-week break until Zandvoort. Right. Let's see what kind of pace Porsche can start to pull out on these tyres. We're 16 seconds behind Magnussen.
Copy.
Let's see if we can get through past Valtteri. We've got more pace than him. And that confidence boost would be wonderful.
Gap 05. Just looking
But it's
at
only in the second half of the lap where we have more pace than him. And we just don't have the pace to actually close the gap. Look, that's frustrating.
Yeah, okay. Copy.
Maybe the only reason we're staying close to him, even though we're harvesting, is because we're in the slipstream. I don't know. We know the car's not great.
03. No looking in the mirrors. Full focus ahead. Come on.
It would be nice just to get a decent kind of result with Mick, just to keep the board that little bit extra happy.
We are much faster than him. Come on.
All right, we're closer this time.
Yeah, the tires.
Are we close enough? I think we might be. We have the overspeed. Can we get the move done? Yes, we can. Good stuff. Right, into top up. Let's turn the tyres down a little bit. And that is a huge confidence boost there for Schumacher. And hopefully we can drive away from Valtteri here. And hopefully Valtteri will hold up Lance Stroll. Porsche is closing in on Magnussen, who's starting to really struggle with his pace. I don't know why. Maybe he's having to fuel save. Tyres are slowly coming into the window. And there we go. We're a second and a half ahead of Valtteri. So once we got through, we have that extra pace over him. But it was just getting through. Now that we are through, we should increase the gap. Valtteri will probably give it everything, if not this lap, then next lap, because he's about to stop. I just hope he holds Stroll up for this lap as well. Give us a chance to let our pace settle a little bit and see if we can start to reel in Albon. Porsche's tyres now in the window, so let's give him some battery. Come on, Valtteri, hold off Stroll for me. Hold him off. Hold him off. Good man. Good man. And that cost him about 0.3 of a second, just defending like that. That's what we like to see. We are closing the gap slightly to Albon. Let's take a look at the front. It is currently Norris in second place, but with tyres that could go to the end. Maybe. Piastri definitely needs to stop, and we'll probably do so into this lap. And Leclerc is right there as well. Again, I'm not 100% confident that these guys will go to the end. They might yet do another stop. Tsunoda's definitely going to box soon, if not at the end of this lap. Alonso needs to stop again. Hülkenberg, Albon, Schumacher, Bottas, Stroll, Ocon, Zhou, Magnussen. They all need to stop again. So there's a chance for Porsche to get a nice little undercut going on a few cars. Not expecting a great finish from him, but we'll see where he ends up. And Mick, as you can see, taking quite a bit of time. Oh, it's a fault for Stroll. Escalating. That battery is getting worse. And that'll make it harder for him to get past Valtteri, if not near impossible for him to get past Valtteri. Gap's up to 3 seconds. And Zhou's in the pits. Medium tyres for Zhou. Is Porsche going to get the jump on him? No, he's not. He's going to come out behind him. So Zhou's done enough to stay ahead of Teo. That is unexpected and not ideal. Tony's just finished 20th and 22nd in Qatar. Car's terrible and you're 7 million in debt. Yeah, that's not great. What's your board confidence? I'm guessing with 7 mil in debt, it's going to be pretty bad. Oscar's in. It's changed to a set of mediums to go to the end. Tsunoda's in. Alonso going another lap. And it's a set of soft tyres for Yuki. Hülkenberg is in. And so is Alex Albon.
Everything you have, come on.
Copy.
There goes Schumacher. And if we couldn't undercut Joe, I don't think we're going to undercut these guys.
Copy, copy.
Oh, it looks like a pit stop issue.
Well, that helps. We made a big mistake spending money on huge salaries, which is left no money for infrastructure and cars. Yeah, that's the problem with big drive salaries, is that it's not just that initial signing fee, but it's how much they're going to cost you every month on top. So Albon is going to stay ahead. He's on the soft tyres as well, which means I think Porsche is in real trouble. Needs to finish in 20th, so I only need to gain 1 place, and I'd like to think we're going to get ahead of Magnussen. But it's not looking great at the moment for Teo. It hasn't really worked.
Come on.
Maybe I should have switched him to the 2-stop
Copy, copy.
with that VSC. Alonso's in. How are you today, Mike? That's a good stop for Alonso.
Okay, box.
Valtteri's in.
Copy, box.
Magnussen is in. This is the critical stop for Teo. Need to get out in front of one or both of these two. Soft tyres for Valtteri. It's going to be close with him. I think he's going to pop out just in front of Porsche. We are going to beat Magnussen out, and he's going to be on softs. Bottas pops out right behind his teammate and clear of us. Bottas will even get DRS. There is Magnussen. So we've got a few seconds. We've got 8 seconds to Magnussen, but those soft tyres will close the gap on us pretty quickly. Let's put on the battle assist now. Let's turn mixed tyres down.
Copy, copy.
He is coming in at the end of this lap. You're down 3 kilometers now. Yeah, straight line speed is really going to hurt. I mean, we are, 1.5 kilometers now slower than Williams right now, which is why it's so hard for us to get any overtaking done. Just be thankful you're not using the realistic racing mod, because that would completely mess your season
Box.
if you've got speed issues. Ooh, 2.5 on the nose. That's a good stop. Ocon is in as well.
Watch out, wide line pit entry.
He's also on soft tyres. We're going to get out just in front of Alex Albon. And I do mean just. He's going to have DRS and swoop past us. And Ocon's come out behind Teo.
Gap 0.6. 15 laps to go.
Full focus on warm-up of the front.
And he gets through. Not horrendously bent out of shape about that, given our tyres. It has hurt the confidence a little bit.
No looking in the mirror, only ahead. Come
But
on.
this will help us get our tyres up to temperature and then have a go back at him. 15th is probably the best we're going to get with Mick tonight. I don't know what we're going to do with Teo. As long as he finishes in 20th, that's the important thing. We're actually onto the back of Joe, whose tyres have still got a little bit more life than us, but his pace is starting to struggle a bit. Maybe that engine issue that he's having, or whatever fault he's having,
Tires were good, mate.
starting to hurt him a little bit. Coming under threat from Ocon, and we've just lost a little bit of pace. And through goes Ocon. Damn it. Okay, we're in 20th. Got to be wary of Magnussen then. I mean, I'm fine with Porsche finishing 20th. We gambled on the strategy and it clearly has not worked. But as long as we don't drop back
Ice forward.
or get caught up by Magnussen, we'll be okay. Just got to hang on until his tyres do what they always do on the Haas and disappear very quickly.
Copy.
So, Piastri, third place, has the best tyres out of the front four.
Come on.
And has a nice little gap to George Russell, and is definitely quicker than George. He's got a chance of stealing a podium at the very least. I think he's going to beat Max. But the question is, are these guys going to stop again? I mean, they might have to. We know Stroll needs to stop again. His tyres are almost gone. Hopefully, Mick will be quick enough to have jumped him. Is this the lap that he dives into the pits? No, he's going another lap. What did he do across the line? Now that he's got Hulkenberg all over him. A 1:47.4, so that lap cost him an extra second on the previous one by defending. And Hulkenberg just goes straight around the outside at La Source. This will give Stroll DRS down the Kemmel Straight.
Eyes forward, clean driving. Come on.
But the gap has closed down. Albon now trying to push away from us. Let's give Mick a little bit more tyre.
Head down now. Try to get a good pace.
Teo has been dropped, but we're keeping the gap at the moment about level with Magnussen. So that's okay. I don't think we're going to get lapped.
Copy.
I think we might just be able to get away with that. New fastest lap for Daniel Ricciardo on those brand new softs of his. And he's now all over the back of George, who's lost nearly 3 seconds to Piastri in a lap.
Gap 1.5 behind.
This should be a pretty straightforward overtake here for the Honey Badger. Up the inside into Les Combes, and the move is done before they even exit that chicane. Hamilton is going to need to stop again soon. Stroll has gone another lap, and he's again slow, so we are closing Stroll in. Maybe 14th is doable, because we're not too far behind Albon. Let's see, across the line for Porsche. 1:45.4. 146.3 for Magnussen. His tyres were already going. Why is he suddenly so slow? He's got all new everything in that car, hasn't he? Yeah, he's got all new everything. So I don't know why he's so slow today. Maybe he's demoralised and it's really affecting his stats.
Gap 1.6. Eyes forward always, eyes forward.
Valtteri's pushing onto the back of us, and so is Ocon. So we need to up our pace a little bit. Want to get past Albon, get that confidence boost to up our pace.
Copy.
Surely Stroll's going to box this lap. He's losing so much time at the moment. Well, he's staying out, which means I think he's going to either go until he punctures or his tyres hit about 20%. Can't understand why he hasn't boxed. Even a set of scrub softs should be able to make it to the end. And we have a yellow flag.
Gap 1.4.
Nothing we can do, so forget about it.
It's a lockup for Fernando.
Now this is what happened as they took turn 8. And the car fails to
Just
respond.
heavy on the
But
brakes
that's
and
just
locking
the
up at
risk you
Rivage.
take. The later you leave it.
Now you can see just how much time Stroll has been losing. You can now see Albon and Schumacher both in the background.
Copy. Yeah, copy.
Gap 09, 09. Eyes forward, come on.
Damn it, we're just
Close the gap.
easy. We're losing ground the second we go into normal pace. Really need those updates. Stroll finally does box. Albon thankfully did not get DRS in front of us there.
Understood.
I don't think we're close enough. Well, we might be. We might be.
Gap 03. Okay, mate, no worries. Race is long.
It's going to have a look. Up the inside at Lake Carmine. It's contact. Oh, god damn it.
What the was that, honestly? Seriously?
Come on, get going, get going, get going.
And it was Mick Schumacher involved, cutting it so close. And the impact on the car, it's quite clear. And they'll have to pick themselves up after that. And not much that the team can do about that one.
How are the tires?
Oh, and just
Good, it's okay.
to rub salt in the wound, Albon rejoins and immediately gets back in front of us. Oh my god. And now Porsche is right there. So
Focus on going forward now.
maybe just maybe going 20th or higher for both was the right call. problem for Sainz. He's down in 9th place. Albon gets the penalty. And our tyres have definitely taken a hit.
Eyes forward, come on.
And Albon's got a fault as well now.
And a misshift.
Did that collision hurt the gearbox a little bit?
Copy, copy. Copy.
Cool down. Cool down.
Copy.
Remember the rear?
And there's Stroll behind us on his new tyres.
Gap 0.5.
Focus ahead, come on.
Oh God, nearly contact again. Albon running wide, I think. Yep.
Now Alex Albon is part of this,
It's almost like he's
and that's where they
trying
slightly
to
run
take
off
us
the
out.
track. And they might want to take a look at the floor of the car there, because that won't do it any.
Oh my God. Right. Let's take a look at the top 10. There's Gasly in 12th. He's not going to get points. So we haven't got to worry about that. Hulkenberg's not going to get points as well. Stroll has gone through on poor share. That puts us back down to 20th. And that is very much as a result of Albon rejoining the way he did, causing Mick to lift, which caused poor share to lift and left a gap. And Magnussen is now close.
Okay, eyes forward now. Eyes forward.
Okay, we need to push a bit more.
Copy.
The blessing here for us is that if Albon doesn't box, which I don't think he's going to, he has got that 5-second penalty. Oh no, he is boxing. So he's going to serve a 5-second penalty on top of his pit stop here. He's going to be very quick when he comes out the pits though. Look how much my tyres have suffered as a result. He had a good stop, unfortunately. And Stroll goes through. Albon does have some damage as a result of the collision. We can't see it, so it's probably going to be chassis or suspension. Might be underfloor, actually. Might be underfloor damage that he has. Excuse me.
Eyes forward, come on.
And we're going to let Teo go through.
Okay.
And we are about to get lapped. That is Lando Norris behind.
Just focus ahead.
Head down now. Try to get a good pace.
Copy. Understood.
We're going to get lapped with Teo as well, so let's keep pushing Teo. Yeah. Albon is 16 seconds behind, but if we're going to keep getting blue flagged, that is going to potentially close that gap up pretty quickly. Through goes Lando Norris. There's Leclerc and Piastri in the background. Ricciardo is ahead of Max, but Max is staying with him. And those two are clear of George Russell. Tsunoda's got himself up into 7th place. What a great result for Tsunoda. And look at Perez. Perez started what? Where did Perez start, actually? Perez started in 6th. Yuki Tsunoda started in 17th. That tells you everything you need to know about how Perez's season is going and how Yuki's season has been.
Six laps to go.
Copy. Okay.
Just trying to make sure I stay ahead of Magnussen. Really need him to get blue flagged in a place where he's going to lose the most possible speed. And right, he's going to lose a chunk of speed if he gets pulled over here through Malmedy. But, you know, in the grand scheme of things, that's actually pretty good place to get blue flagged.
Copy.
Albon is closing very quickly thanks to the blue flags and the fresh tyres. Trying to stay with Leclerc here. It's a fool's hope, but Piastri is about to blue flag Magnussen. I think Porsche has just been, or is just about to be blue flagged by Norris. There's Norris. There's Magnussen. We've got a chance to make a run at Magnussen here.
It's a long race coming.
Please, no more contact. Please, no more contact.
We need to pass him. We are much faster than him. Come on.
Yes, we're through. Whew. Okay. Mick
Okay,
back
good
up
job.
into 19th place.
Gap 7 seconds.
And that gives us that little bit of extra breathing room now for Teo. And also for Mick, because we now have a buffer behind us against Albon.
Copy. Copy. Copy, copy.
let's pick up the pace. 4 laps to go.
Copy, copy.
It's going to be a battle of the two McLarens. Piastri, I would have to say, is favourite to win this. I don't think Leclerc's got the tyres left to challenge. I think he's going to have to settle for third. Ricciardo has broken away from Verstappen now, so I think it is literally just these two that's going to be, you know, who wins the Grand Prix. Yeah, Leclerc just does not have the pace to keep up. And we've dropped Magnussen just about. His tyres are pretty much destroyed now. It'll be 18th and 19th, and not in the order that I was expecting. I thought Mick was going to comfortably beat Porsche today. We could have had 15th and 14th maybe with Mick, had we not had that coming together with Albon. It's cost us a front wing,
Copy.
but we're going to get a new spec of front wing for the next Grand Prix, so I'm not overly concerned about that. And Magnussen has now been dropped. Albon is still closing in, but not by anywhere near as much as he was. I think Mick is pretty safe here. We've got a little bit of tyre wear that we can still spend. Porsche, we're just saving what little life we can out of this ERS unit. This will be our practice ERS as soon as we can afford to buy him a new one, which is going to happen after this Grand Prix, I think. All depends on how much money we get from the sponsors. Parts are a priority. So while we've got it in harvest, it's not really taking much in the way of wear. It's already in pretty rough shape as it is, as you can see. It's at 21%. And I'm also just trying to hope that we don't develop a fault on it in the closing lap or two, because that could do even more damage to it. Could even precipitate a complete failure of the unit, which would then leave us without an ERS at all, apart from the brand new one. Something I'm keen to avoid where possible. We are closing in on Joe.
Okay, copy, copy.
Let's see if we can maybe jump him. It's our final lap,
Copy.
so we may as well go gung-ho
Let's get him.
with tyres and battery.
Big push now.
Copy.
Push the fuel as well.
Copy.
See if we can avoid getting that blue flag. If we get blue flags, we're not going to get Joe.
Copy, copy.
I don't think we're going to get him anyway, but you never know. We might be lucky. And that will at least cheer the board up a little bit. I dread to think what's going to happen. I'm really worried that the board's going to be losing high confidence in dropping down to standard.
Copy.
And that just one little change will cost us $750,000. Because we're about to get our mid-season review after this after this lap.
Copy, copy.
Norris has held on. And Norris wins the Belgian Grand Prix ahead of teammate Oscar Piastri. Charles Leclerc has to settle for
Lando
third.
Norris wins it. He's first over the line. And Lando Norris picks up the win.
But it's not been a good weekend for Sainz. And this will shake things up in the driver's
What
standings
an
yet again.
achievement. Sometimes you take the incredible skill of these drivers for granted, but not today.
It's 18th and 19th for us. Our best pit stop was a 2.5 dead. I don't think that's going to be good enough for pit stop points. So we're going to come out of this weekend with very little at all, but at least we did get some money with the sponsors. Let's bring everyone home now.
That was a fantastic performance from Daniel Ricciardo.
I tell you what, they had to work hard for those points today. What a phenomenal achievement that is.
Not sure why we're not seeing
wonderful
Ricciardo's
scene.
normal helmet.
The team getting their first chance to congratulate their driver on a job well done. And after such a fabulous drive here today, it's no surprise to see this man land on the podium.
4 superb wins to their name now this year, and it's been a pleasure watching them drive.
So we're seeing multiple wins for multiple
And there you
drivers
have
this
it.
year.
A
4 wins
smiling
apiece
podium
now for
lineup
Sainz
at
and
the
Norris.
Belgian
5
Grand
wins
Prix.
for Leclerc. I think Norris is going to be topped by a nice little margin here.
Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage? at
Why
the
are
end
they
of
so
that?
ecstatic?
It was a strangely mixed weekend for them. We saw one driver.
God, you'd
put in
think
a
we'd
strong
won the Grand
performance,
Prix the way they're
but it was a
celebrating.
different
Yeah, we
story
came
for the
home
others.
in
Definitely
18th and
confidence there,
19th with a car with damage. Let's go crazy. Woo!
That is that for this weekend's F1 action here in Belgium.
For the next round, Formula One won't be straying too far. We'll be heading to the dunes of Zandvoort and the lightning speed of the Dutch Grand Prix.
So, confirmation of the final result then. It is the win for Lando Norris, his 4th win of the year, ahead of Oscar Piastri, who picks up yet another podium. Charles Leclerc takes 3rd to close the gap to his teammate, who didn't even finish in the top 10. So I think this is a definite championship lead for Lando Norris going into the mid-season break here. Good result for Daniel Ricciardo, up 4 places, ahead of Max Verstappen as well, and got the fastest lap. So good weekend for him. Great weekend for Yuki Tsunoda as well, up 10 places to score points, finishing in 7th. Max in 5th, George in 6th, Perez down in 8th place, Hamilton in 9th, Alonso 10th. Those two started and finished in exactly the same places. Then outside the top 10, it was Sainz in 11th, down 10 places from his pole position. Big surprise there for Sainz. Did have some hydraulic issues with his car towards the end, which probably did not help, but a long way behind Alonso, look. A long way behind. Hulkenberg finishing in 12th place, 13th for Gasly, 14th for Stroll, 15th for Valtteri, 16th for Ocon, 17th for Zhou, and then a disappointing weekend for us. Both drivers down 5 places. It's Porsche and ahead of Schumacher in 18th and 19th. 20th for Magnussen. Bad weekend for Albon, which was entirely his own fault. He's down to 21st, and teammate Sargent retiring after crashing out, and that brought out a VSC fairly early on. In the driver standings, it is Lando Norris going top by 11 points over Carlos Sainz. Leclerc's closed the gap to his teammate down to just 10. He sits now in third place on 253 points. Max has 190 in fourth. Oscar is 30 points behind and still closing that gap. It's going to be an interesting fight between Max and Oscar for fourth place, I think, this year. He's on 160. Yuki Tsunoda moves above Checo Perez by a point into sixth place. Perez down now into seventh on 83 points. George has 72 in eighth. That's Ricciardo with 64 in ninth. Stroll has 35 points, none for him this weekend. 26 points for Hamilton, 25 points for Alonso in 12th. Porsche stays in 13th ahead of Albon and Valtteri. Then in 16th, it's still Hülkenberg from Schumacher. Gasly moves above his teammate with a better overall finish record now. So Ocon down to 19th place ahead of Logan Sargent. Magnussen and Zhou bringing up the rear. Let's take a look at the constructors' standings. And it is Ferrari who stay top, but the gap has been nibbled away at quite substantially there by McLaren. They scored 28 points more this weekend. 28 points. So the gap has come down quite substantially. Red Bull in third, again, have been caught by RB. 5 points the difference between them this time. So while there's still a long way to go, this battle could heat up for third place. I would love to see RB finish ahead of Red Bull at the end of the season. That would be incredible. Mercedes pick up 10 points. They're on 98 now, just 2 away from hitting triple digits. Aston on 60. We are still in 7th on 2 points ahead of Williams, Sauber and Haas. Alpine bringing up the rear as well. Did we get any pit stop points? Oh, we did. We did. We got 4 points. We did just about hang on for those lovely, much needed 4 points there. It's a good weekend for Red Bull. They get first and fourth. McLaren in second. Aston in third. Sauber getting some good points in fifth. Mercedes sixth. Williams seventh and ninth. And Ferrari picking up just a single point today. Let's see what that's done to the standings. McLaren top with 300 points. Red Bull have closed the gap. They are now on 250. So exactly 50 points behind. Big difference in the point scoring today. 19 points extra for Red Bull. Ferrari picking up just that one single point means that they are really starting to lag behind now in third. No points for Alpine, and they're now under pressure from Aston, who are just 1 point behind in fifth on 126. Mercedes jumping above RB back into sixth place. Williams in eighth have 76 points. Sauber move above us by 4 points. They're on 58. We're now on 54 in 10th. And Haas still bottom with just 10 points in 11th. And there you see a summary of the stops. So it was 2.499 in the end. It said 2.5 during the race, but it's retimed it to that. Wouldn't have made a difference either way, but it's not. That's a nice new stop for us there. Not our best, I don't think, this season. A bad first stop for Mick, which certainly didn't help. We lost a good 3 seconds on that one. And not a great stop for Porsche. We only made the one, and at least it was clean. What is our best stop so far this year? 2.419 is our quickest stop of the year. So let's see if we can improve on that in the second half of the season. Both drivers do achieve their target of 20th or higher. So $678,000 is added to our bank balance. And now we have a mid-season break and a board summary to go through. Let's see how we can get ourselves prepped in the run-up to Zandvoort. Okay, so Teo has gone up by a rating point. We achieved our sponsor target. That was worth 275 mil. Did we get a compulsory as well? We did. That was worth another million, effectively. So that's a nice bit of cash. PAL goes up by a point as well. Mid-season board review time. We are 2 places above our target there. We're not going to complete the long-term objective this season, but we have scored points, which is why we're in 7th. And we've still got 4 years to go on this, so that's not a major issue. And the board still has high confidence. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that's another 1.5 mil added to our bank balance at a time when we really do need that cash. Here we are back at HQ. Let's dive straight into the inbox. We know we broke a front wing. Did the rest of the car come through okay? No, it did not. We lost a rear wing, a side pod, and a suspension. Although Teo's car came through unscathed. Let's take a quick look at cars. There we go. Spare parts are fixed. We are 2 weeks away from the front wing, 3 days from the rear wing. Ooh, excuse me. We've got 8.5 million in the bank, so let's immediately start building those chassis. 25 days away from Zandvoort, so we'll have 1 on each car, and we'll be halfway through a spare. Really don't want to have to use the rush option, because we need as much money as we can, so that's just an unnecessary extra expense. We'll have a spare underfloor tomorrow as well, which is good because we've just had to use one, I think. So that'll take us up to 4. No, we haven't done underfloors. It was side pods and suspension, wasn't it? We could maybe do with building more of those. Chassis are on the way. Rear wings and front wings are going to be done over this break, so I'm not worried about those. Let's get the sponsor plan done. We've got another energy drink cameo for another 950,000. Let's get our engagement plotted in. So let's get old nut job back on the case. Maybe the factory. Let's get the scouts involved. Really don't want to do my race engineers. Let's get Tuka doing something. I have to do the factory. And I'm going to have to do something with Teo as well. I think. Oh, actually, maybe I can get away with it. All right, let's do the wind tunnel, and then let's go with head of aero. Okay, that gives us 640. Let's do the CFD sim. Can I get away with dropping something else down? That's my pit crew. Cannot afford to do the pit crew. I don't really want to do the race engineers, but we haven't done any VIP activities that might be important, so let's switch to VIPs, and that gives us a 160 excess to hopefully keep us okay. So we'll confirm that. Right, 25 days until Zandvoort. Let's take stock, shall we? So, when is the next ATR? I think it's next month, isn't it? It is. It's a month away, effectively. 2nd of September. So that'll be after Monza. I haven't got to worry about that yet. So, we have a slot available now. We'll have another one opening up in 3 days. Let's maybe look at a new side pod. See if we can find some extra performance with an updated side pod. Again, it's not giving us huge amounts. It will be a cumulative effect with the other upgrades that are coming. That's too much. That looks not too bad. It's negligible gains, but it is something. Okay, so that's that. Got an underfloor research project going through at the moment. Suspension. What about a new suspension? New suspension looks like it'll actually give us a little bit more. Nice little extra bit of speed there. Maybe increase that. Don't want to overdo it. But we do need more speed because we are slow. Very slow at the moment. I don't really want to take that down any further. They're fragile enough as it is. 3 to 5 races. Let's go with that. So we'll get another suspension started. So 5.3 mil. I absolutely have to buy a new ERS, if nothing else, for Teo. That's 2.5 mil. I can't buy any other car parts yet. Because now I've only got 2.8 mil to pay for manufacturing and the new project. That's our spare underfloor. Ooh, god damn. That would pop up the day after I put a new project through, wouldn't it? God damn it. Oh, man. I don't know if I can actually take full effect of this. I mean, it would give us a 50% boost. It would still be active when we get our ATR period. We are actually about to get a little bit more cash in a couple of days for the end of the month. That'll be about $1 million. So that will pay for this. So we are going to approve that budget and we'll still be around about 2.8, just under 3 million. Back again in a day or two, or a couple of days. All right. So our affiliates don't care about these two, but I will have a look anyway. An extra point in adaptability, reactions, and accuracy for nuts. Adaptability, defending, and reactions for Carlo. Tuca, this is the one we do care about. It's getting 2 points in control, a point in smoothness, a point in adaptability, and a point in accuracy. Excellent stuff. So he's a little miserable because we've told him he's got to do some sponsor work this month. How about our main drivers? Let's have a look. This is where we need to see some improvement, please. Lovely stuff. 2 points in braking for Mick and for Teo, actually. They've both gained a point in cornering, a point in accuracy for Mick, 2 points in overtaking, and a point in defending for Teo. Very nice. Very nice indeed. There we go. Rear wing is ready. Let's go to manufacturing. You can see we're back up to 2.8. We've got $1 million from the board. So let's start building those wings. Try to think about getting another research project going. Let's go with just 3. Let's try and use this period to really improve our car for next year. We're going to put 2 engineers on that so that we can get another research project started before we lose our extra bays down here. We've got 200 grand, but we haven't got to build a front wing for another 12 days yet. So we'll have enough money, assuming we don't get any sudden expenses, we'll have enough money to be able to afford to build front wings, or at least a front wing. hopefully a couple of front wings by the time that rolls around. Let's have a look. There we go. Monthly car development. We know it's terrible. July in Formula 1. How is the rest of the grid getting on? Aston have got a new side pod. Strong performance, apparently. Now they're working on a chassis. The team is not where they'd like it to be, but they will improve, I think. Ferrari having a good season. They are still top in the constructors, although they are only 2nd and 3rd in the drivers. There's a little bit of work to do to overcome Lando at the moment. These are the standings as things currently are. You see Lando has got that 11-point lead over Sainz and a 21-point lead over Leclerc. But Leclerc's form has picked up again recently, and it is between these 3. I don't think Max and Oscar are going to be close enough to really do much. Max is 63 points now behind Leclerc and 84 points behind Lando Norris. So that's a big gap. Big gap. Ferrari really looking pretty comfortable at the top of the constructors. McLaren are comfortable in 2nd ahead of Red Bull. Again, I think these 2 might have a fight for the constructors, but I think Ferrari are going to win it. I can't see Oscar taking enough points away from the Ferraris to help Lando, and I can't see Lando consistently beating the Ferraris. I think the Drivers' Championship is really up in the air, but I think Ferrari are going to win the constructors this season. I think McLaren are going to be comfortably 2nd. At this stage, you've got to say Red Bull are going to finish 3rd, but Red Bull are outscoring them more often than not now. So it's not impossible if Red Bull continue to decline and RB continues to improve at the rate that they are improving. That could be an interesting proposition when we get to the last couple of Grand Prix. Let's get some pit crew training in. Got a lot of training to get plotted in here. We need to get these guys really working on their speed training as much as we possibly can here, because we are just too slow. And while accuracy would be nice, because our tyre wear still isn't great, we're having to take multiple stops anyway. So I'd rather focus more on the speed and hope that we get clean stops rather than hoping on working on clean stops and hoping that they're quick. Because if we're making 6 stops across a weekend with both of our drivers in total, all we need is 1 really good stop to get some good points. If we can get 2 really good stops, that would be great, but that will have a big impact on how we can do going into the next, going into the end of the year. If we can get, just the odd really good stop here and there to get some extra points, that gives us the chance of getting some decent money at the end of the season from the competition. So let's see. Let's do a day of car building. And then we'll go into some split training here. just to maintain the stats so they don't fall off. Still are quite high in terms of risk at 12%. Okay, and I've got space for maybe a couple of days. Oh no, 2 days is too much. It's too much. I've got space for 1 day. So let's get rid of this day completely. In terms of car building, let's do that. And then we can clear this day off totally. And then we'll be at 9% and then 0% before we go to Zandvoort. I don't know if this means we're going to carry extra fatigue into the next month. I think it means we might. So I'm not looking forward to that. I've got space for half a day of training. So let's go with a bit of speed training. Yeah, that's as good as we're going to get. So we will end the month looking something like this. That's not too bad. It would be better if Aurelian was happy, but he's a miserable bugger. We can't afford to replace him. We don't have that money available. So can't break his contract yet without going into debt, and we cannot afford to go into debt because then we can't build anything. So yeah, we're just going to have to stay as we are in that respect. Powell has had an external contract offer. Ooh, okay, so I really need to hear back. Really need to hear back from damn it. Kicked my foot. Really need to hear back from Hugh Bird. Like right now, before this gets settled for us. Yes, he's accepted the offer. This is an increase in salary for next season, but this is a huge step up in terms of quality of engineer. So Hugh Bird will join us next season. That is excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. So Powell can go. He can take that offer he's had from Haas. Rear wings are complete. We've got 153k. Oh god, we had to pay for the signing fee, didn't we? Oh shit. Now we might not have the front wings. Tuka goes up by a performance point overall. I've got just short of what I need for a front wing. I think they're 250. Please tell me they're 225. They're 225. I can build a front wing. We're building 4 chassis. Let's take one of those back. That'll give us an extra bit of cash to then up that to 3 front wings. Woo, I've got 125 grand. Something in the inbox. What's in the inbox? Oh, whatever it was, we've marked it. Maybe it's this email. Carlo has had an offer. He can go. Yes, he can go. So he will leave us and go to Red Bull next season. I think we were going to have to pay through the nose to get rid of him anyway. His current contract... Oh, he's only got 5 months left. Okay, it's not him. It's Nut that's going to be the one with the extra year. But he's cheaper to break the contract. So that's fine. Yeah, he can go. So we've already got Ryo Hirakawa joining us next season. So that's fine. So let's take a look at the mentality of our staff and drivers. Full enthusiasm from Porsche. He's slightly, he's unhappy about the car performance, but his overall mentality is enthusiastic. That's good. Mick's only positive. His biggest issue is where he is in the standings, and he's quite neutral on that. So no real issue for Mick, but just not as happy as he could be. Neutral for Pedro, neutral for Powell. Powell will be leaving us at the end of the season, so as long as he does a good job for the rest of this year, that's all I care about. Matt, still absolutely loving life here at Nissan. No issues whatsoever. Dirk's having a pretty good time as well. He's unhappy with the car performance, but he's enthusiastic overall. Tuka is neutral. Biggest issue is his car. Same for Aurelian. It's more of a problem for us. We just can't seem to get him out of neutral at the moment. And I don't really care about these two. So that's fine. Mercedes are offering him a contract now as well. So he might not be going to Rebel. He might be going to Mercedes. We got our paddock rumors email. It's silly season time. We know that Kevin Magnussen is going. Actually, I say silly season. It's not really that silly because all of these deals are already locked in place. So Kevin Magnussen is leaving Haas and being replaced with Esteban Ocon. That we knew about. It's highlighting Kasper Stuka as an upcoming driver. Beat Zender has yet to secure a contract for next season. Rumours are that Alpine have approached them, but as of yet, no contract has been finalised. We'll be overruling the staff stuff where we can, assuming that the 2025 mod can be applied to a season that's already, to a save that's already going. I hope it can. There is the prep for the Dutch Grand Prix, which is in 2 days' time. Let's advance. There we go. We have our final front wing complete. Almost got enough to make another one, but not quite. So we're going to hold on to that cash because we need the money we're going to get from here this weekend to immediately pump some more back into car development. We've got 3 slots here that aren't doing anything. And we need to try and get as many projects going as possible. We will be holding off on building those suspensions until we can get the other slots up and running, I think, with projects for next season. Try and take that step forward with some really good research. And maybe squeeze one more upgrade in on the car as well. Let's take a look at the cars as well. So we have a new chassis to go on. Let's install that. So actually we want to go back to chassis and we want to install that on car 2 so we can see how much this upgrade is actually worth. Front wings install on car 1, rear wing on car 1, and then we should be fine everywhere else. Yep. So, new chassis, new front wing, new rear wing. How much are they worth? We need to advance one more day. And now we can actually do an analysis because now everyone's cars should be fixed. So, yeah, still worst on the grid, but we have improved. Look at that. Dirty air tolerance is no longer orange. We're now 15th there. Let's take an actual look at what the performance difference is between the two. So we've gained about 0.4 kilometers an hour. We've gained a little bit of acceleration. We've gained nearly 7% in DRS. That's quite nice. Quite a good amount in the low speed, medium speed, and high speed as well. Gained an extra nearly 2% in dirty air tolerance, about 1.7% in tyre wear, and negligible difference in engine cooling. We've actually taken an extra kilo weight off the car as well. Let's see what it looks like numbers wise. There we go. So still not amazing, but the fact that we've improved the dirty air will help. Our tyre wear is still nice and strong. That will hopefully stand us in a little bit better stead. I mean, we've got another suspension coming. We'll try and get another side pod up and running. Maybe another underfloor. But we've got to focus on research while we have this boost to our design center. So we have taken a little bit of a step forward. Let's make sure I actually put those parts onto Teo now, before I forget, because I probably will otherwise. There we go. So both cars will be running the new spec going into the next race. That will be tomorrow night's stream. We'll be heading to Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix. Hopefully you'll join me for that. It'll be the usual time of 8 p.m. It'll be a little quiet on the channel tomorrow. No other videos are currently scheduled to drop. As I say, I wasn't well today, so my recording window went out the window. But I will try and get some recording done tomorrow for the rest of the week and through into the beginning of maybe next week as well. So Construction Sim will be back in a few days. Hopefully the Precinct will be back in a couple of days. We've only got a couple of episodes left of that now until that's done. And then there'll be another episode of American Truck Simulator on Thursday. And of course, we're streaming every night, Monday through Friday, with this game as well. So, chance for you to catch up on anything you've missed recently tomorrow, if you've got some time to kill. If not, hopefully I will see you back here at the usual time, 8 p.m. for this Grand Prix. If you have enjoyed this one, then please drop a thumbs up on the stream. And if you're not yet subscribed, why not consider subscribing as well? And be sure to hit that bell for notifications for when these live streams start and any new videos that drop on the channel as well. Until then, though, I will be back with more F1 Manager very soon.